Welcome back, everybody, to X is in the U. This is episode number 65. I am Matt Gandasik, former or ex president of the Sons of Ben. I'm joined by ex head capo Adam Booth, ex mural star, but we'll get into that later. And of course, ex player and forever legend Sebastian Latou. We might be the X's, but we're the experts in bringing you news about the Union. Hey guys, how's everyone doing, Adam? You all excited about the Leagues Cup? Woo!
Look, man, it's a thing. It's soccer. I like soccer. So cool. Other than that, man, the rest of it, we can have a talk. We can have a talk about the Leagues Cup.
Hey, it's also a paycheck for Mr. Sebastian Latou because he gets to do radio for Leagues Cup. So, Seba, how you doing?
I'm doing good, busy every 3 days, so love it.
Do you get bonus money for doing Leagues Cup? Like, is that like extra kind of stuff or no?
No,
Well, at least you get paid.
sorry.
That's good because the Leagues Cup just comes out of my wallet, when I go, like everybody else. But yeah, we are going to be covering some Leagues Cup for you, which is funny because according to math, it doesn't really matter for you if you're a Union fan because they're mathematically out of it. I mean, they are saying that there is a chance. I think we'll need to win like 7-0 or 7-0 or something like that. But yeah, because the first game against Cruz Azul where we lost 1-0, we're pretty much out of it. The Azul game, let's just get into it. Azul not only beats the Union, but they beat the Rocky Curse. They I don't know if it was real or if it was AI generated, but they did put the Cruz Azul flag on good old Rocky Balboa, and they still beat the Union. So I don't know what was a more impressive feat, beating the Union or beating Rocky. Adam, your thoughts?
Well, since Rocky lost the first movie, I think he has a track record of being beatable. So I'm not really that impressed by that. But look, I think that was a game where with this Leagues Cup, there's a little bit of MLS is still kind of behind the eight ball with Liga MX. So I think for a part of it, there's maybe a little bit of like ball watching, if you will, in terms of just being like, oh, we're playing a team of this caliber. Cruz Azul is coming off of a championship in Mexico. So, they're no slouches. And even though the game was lightly attended from what I saw on television, their fans were out there in force. And you got to respect that.
Uh,
Wasn't there?
I don't know if it was lightly attended. It was lightly attended by Union fans.
Okay, well, I mean that's basically the name of the game of this entire tournament, and I want to really give a shout out to the Club America fans that took over Portland, Oregon, for that exact moment. But look, the idea that every single one of these tournaments that we do is just an opportunity for the Union to rotate their roster. Okay, and this is the opportunity to get Andrew Rick minutes. Sure, I guess. And I mean, and I put none of the onus of why this team lost on Andrew Rick, but I just feel like I don't know if this team even takes these tournaments seriously enough for even the fan to start to take the tournament seriously, if that makes sense. It feels like in a season where the Union were pressed for opportunities to win any version of silverware, you might want to take this thing seriously, and it didn't really feel like from game one that they meant to do that exact thing. So you lose 1-0. One of their goals is called back on an obvious offsides, and you should have got a handball. There was a handball in the box. That's the old adage is that's not why you lost the game, but it's also not why you didn't win the game. It's definitely something where what is the purpose of VAR? Like I talked to a couple of my sources really close to the team, and they're all just throwing their hands up of everyone knows that's a penalty. Everyone knows that's a penalty. That hand is far enough away from the body and in a natural position. The pundits on the broadcast were shocked and amazed they didn't call it a penalty. I'm a little flabbergasted, but you had other opportunities to come back against them and you didn't. I don't like the idea of you losing game one of a tournament and you're done and you still have to play 2 more games, like just regardless. That seems dumb. They really have to figure out the format of this tournament because this doesn't seem interesting. And I'm not even sure how interesting it is for the fan to go on a game like Thursday. But that was a tough game against Cruz Azul. I was a fan of how we played, though. I actually think we played decently well. And I think when we got into desperate times in the second half, there was a lot of pressure that was put on the Cruz Azul goal. And it was really encouraging to see the Union have offensive teeth late in a match like that, because I think that's something that this roster has kind of lacked going forward. I think now you're getting better service, obviously, from Kai, and Lucic looks like he's on a mission himself. And it just like you're getting better service and you're getting better play to get to the final third. It's nice to see now that the final third looks like it is actually willing to attack in a way that will generate goals. So it's a tough loss in a tournament that virtually doesn't matter anyway. But yeah, that's how that went.
Yeah. And you're speaking of the pundits. We're going to go to one. Seba, as soon as he gets his head popped up on the screen for all the YouTube listeners. There he is. Seba, what were your thoughts on the Cruz Azul match? It was a hot one.
Yeah, he was definitely a hot one. He was humid, so we got a little water break like during the World Cup for the team, which I think was needed. And we play, every 3 days, so you can see, some change in the lineup. But I think we had a pretty strong lineup to attack the game, especially the first one. But Cruz Azul, one of the, I think, best team that we play since Ryan Richter, took the Union as a head coach. It was a pretty strong opponent. Not the start we wanted. I think we pretty much kind of fell asleep a little bit for the first 15 minutes. We are not really in the game, like mentally, to kind of get in the competition. But then, like, I think I agree with Adam, much better from the team, especially in the second half, like really pushing. We got a lot of, I think, good looks to tie the game before the episode of the handball that was not whistled by the referee at so surprised of Dave Leno and myself calling the game on the radio. He was really not sure why, and not even like going to look on the monitor about it. So whoever was upstairs was damn sure that it was not a handball, but I think it was. So yeah, very hard to understand like that rule of the handball in the box and how you judge and everything. It's a bit disappointed to not get that call. But other than that, yeah. First time we didn't score, and Cruz Azul, I think, at the end, it was their experience and the teams they were able to get the win. And after that, yeah, like Adam said, I think it was a more like a Cruz Azul like crowd than the Union. It was not a full stadium, but it was pretty, decent show, for the fans. And yeah, it's like a weird competition. It's you lose the first game, now you're pretty much out. You still have 2 games to play, so. We talk about, after that, the next game and then Necaxa, but it's a bit like weird, especially like where is that right after the World Cup, playing every 3 days, and we know how like busy is the schedule after the game on Sunday for the Union. So a lot of management, had to be done by Ryan Richter, and kind of yes, can we win this competition? It could have been great, but it was not, I think, really the goal of the new coaching staff right now. Coming in, I don't think so. I think it was just to make sure that everybody stay healthy, everybody got some minutes to can play, because we are going to need a lot of different guys to be able to step in if we are going into the stretch like New York, then Miami, then Austin. It's like 3 big games, so we are not going to probably see the same 11 guys on the field. So I think those games of the Leagues Cup help to keep everybody involved, everybody ready physically, and that's what we saw. So still, we still have a full lineup. I'm glad that nobody got injured in those games, and we are still pretty healthy for the comeback on the league's game on Sunday when we go to New York City FC.
Yeah, one thing I will say about the crowd, and then we'll get into the next game and overall tournament, but people are going to be like, "Oh, the Sons of Ben, you didn't show up for this." You know what? Nobody showed up for this. If anybody's going to criticize yourself. So many people opted out. And then you couldn't get the free game if you didn't opt in. It was complex, but even the Cruz Azul fans were in the river end. And I was there. There was nothing security could do. There was no way you're moving everybody and everything. It was just you had to accept it. It was era back to the old U.S. Open Cup days. And if you're upset about the attendance, look at yourself in the mirror because it's your fault if you weren't there. These games ain't that expensive. I mean, you could have opted out and bought a ticket for cheaper on the third market and still gone to this game and had a nice night. Now I'm going to be a hypocrite, which I hate doing. I'm not going Thursday. I gave my ticket for a credit back to the team only because Dave Grohl is in town and I had family obligations to see Dave Grohl and his nanny. Oh no, not his nanny, his wife. But yeah. So yeah, if you have issues with the attendance, look at yourself. Do you care about this? Same thing with the U.S. Open Cup. Do you care about this? You need to show up, or these things go away. So I don't know. That was just my thought. But we did have another game, and Julian Carranza came back. Now, Adam, you're my expert in Liga MX. What is the difference between this team and Eva Longoria's team, which sound distinctly familiar, but they're spelled differently?
An understanding of Latin.
Well, see, I skipped that. I didn't want to be an altar boy, so maybe that's why I didn't know the difference.
An understanding of foreign cultures is honestly basically the difference between that. It's the difference between Reading, Pennsylvania, and Reading, California, if you will. But yeah, look, to see Julian Carranza was fantastic. It's great to see such our famous handsome boy back in Philadelphia. I thought he would be in Europe forever, but the waves of soccer take you a lot of different places. But that was a game that I was very pleased with the experience for the Union, especially with at that point you probably know that your tournament is kind of over. So at this point you're just doing it for yourselves to get some minutes, to get the fans into it, and all parts were hit. I love Captain Nate Harriel. That it reminds me, and I know I'm a little bit biased, but it reminds me of a Reece James in Chelsea vibe of a right back who has a little bit more capabilities than just a right back. And he's displayed a lot of leadership capabilities since he came over here. Even with the original homegrown contract, I had the pleasure of meeting him when he just got brought over, and he displayed a lot of the leadership qualities that you want in a captain, an alternate captain, which I believe he is now. I think this is his 4th or 5th game that he's captain at this point. So, and for him to score very early, for him to get on the board and get some confidence, that was great. To have it followed up very quickly by Bruno and actually get him on the score sheet as a number 9, scoring what was said during the broadcast, and it could not have been uttered better. It was a number 9's goal. It was a goal scored by a classic number 9. It gave me shades of everybody's favorite poacher, CJ Sapong, of just being in the right place in the right time, and I really enjoyed watching him score. And you could see, when you're a striker, I'm sure Seba can speak on this. When you're a person who's expected to score goals, that's your job, and you haven't. Even if you do a great job defensively, even if you do a great job in transition, people are still going to be like, okay, but when are you going to score? I think that was a big moment for him to get the monkey off of his back, even in the setting of not being MLS play, but still being a goal of significance and magnitude. So that was good to see. It was good to see them pretty much lock up a game for the most part. I think they fell asleep at the end to get that final goal to get in there. But outside of that, it just felt like a really strong performance. And look, man, Pierre's not going to be here long. He's not going to be here long. He looks like one of the best legitimate talents this academy has made in a while. Like, and nothing against Kevin or Austin Trusty or any of these other guys who came through. But this man, he's a man. He's a man already, and it's not even just the height. A lot of people can just go to like the Peter Crouches and these just gentlemen who have just great stature. Who, okay, if it hits his head, well, he's taller than 80% of the field. It's fine. He floats. Like his verticality, even at that height, is insane. His ability to redirect at this age is phenomenal. He is so polished. Like the fact that they're already saying Barcelona is going to come calling, Barcelona is not going to be the only team. It can't be. The man right now, if he wasn't playing soccer, I'd ask him to go back up LeBron James in the post for us for the upcoming 76er season. Like, you're going to tell me this 18-year-old is, what, 6'7" already, and he might grow more with that level of skill? Imagine, if you will, for all my basketball fans, Anthony Davis when he was younger. The reason why Anthony Davis was so talented was because he started small. And in basketball, starting small actually means you develop more skill and then grew into this giant human with the skill level. That's what we're looking at. A giant human with an already solid skill level of a much smaller person than him. I love watching him play soccer. I love watching him play soccer. You muted yourself, Mateo.
Oh, his game, sorry, if you wanted to compare it to somebody in basketball, why don't you compare it to our minority owner, Kevin Durant? Big man that can still play a fluid, solid game. So yeah, I mean, yeah, he will not be, get to as many games as you can, because I think during the shortened schedule you're not going to see him. Seba, your thoughts? You were doing the radio on this. What did you think of? And how the hell did we not bring duct tape and rope and keep Carranza here? We could have shipped Bruno off. We could have just done a swap and they would never have known. So that's my two questions. What your thoughts on the game, and how do we not kidnap Julian and keep him here?
I mean, to answer your first question, Bruno scored, Julian didn't. So, we have the best goal scorer right now on the field. So that's number one. Second, Kaunda made his own choice. He decided to leave. He went to, Europe, didn't pay out. He had like a good stunt, in, I think, Feyenoord when he scored in the Champions League. I think one goal. He had like a couple of good weeks, but now, he's back in Mexico. Not sure what he's looking for. He might come back in the league. Who knows? But right now, not really my problem. I'm focused about the player we have on the team, and right now our number 9 scores a goal, so that's the most important. Then the game, yes, much better start again, the Necaxa. But like Adam said, I don't think both teams didn't really care much about the game. I think the Union care more just about putting a good performance and kind of playing with the guys who we make some changes in the lineup as well to give more minutes to 5 different guys who didn't start the game against Cruz Azul. So I think it was good. And Nate, great performance as a right back, playing almost every position. He finished as a left back at the end of the game when Caravaner came off. So yeah, it's great to have a player like that who can play the 4 position in the back line, and great to have him scoring a goal. And it was a great goal, great transition. Cavan, Sullivan again, starting, there's another game, getting involved again in scoring the last goal and giving an assist. So it's great to see that Cavan is really helping the team offensively and getting more and more confidence. So hopefully we can see that again in league play on Sunday. But yeah, it was a good professional performance by the team, winning 3-0, being up 3-0, and then giving a goal at the end where, we were kind of waiting for the end of the game with Necaxa not really pushing too much for it. It was, it looked like, easy win for the Union. So it was good. And again, at the end, very happy, no injuries, everybody feeling good. And just sucked for Andrew Rick to not get the clean sheet. So I'm a bit upset at the end of the game, but I think it was a good performance, with the little motivation it was for the team. So no, I liked it. I like Adam said, few performance of the guy in the back. I think Neil Pierre is a good defender, but there's still some progression, in him, which is great to see. He's still very good, but you can see he's still able to maybe do better choice in his passing. For example, I think he may have maybe 1 or 2 times, lost the ball when he did a great play defensively, and then lose the ball right after that. So it's, some stuff he need to learn, but it's still early for him. But right now, what he's bringing with his physicality and, the different type of vibe as a center back, that's great for the Union. So good win. Now we're going to play last game on Sunday against Santos Laguna. We probably will see a much different team, probably all the guys who might not start on Sunday, and just go from there and just get ready for the game against New York, because I'm telling you, with the humidity, the weather, the guys are getting a little bit tired playing every 3 days. So it's going to be important to stay fresh and get a great, kind of a better preparation for the game against New York that maybe we have been doing in the past couple of games with less rest. But yeah, Santos Laguna, fun game, but we don't have a lot of chance to qualify. So it's going to be very minimum for us to do on this field. Just a good run for all the guys who maybe didn't play that much this year.
Yeah, it's good for some guys to get some time that might not get the time. And I will say for the Santos Laguna scheme, shout out to the union, because they did offer to buy your ticket back and you could credit it if you're a season ticket holder. So I appreciate that, because they've never done that in the past. But I will say, my opinion, MLS, Liga MX, the winners of this whole tournament, and I don't mean the actual winner, was, I think, Ryan Richter and Kevin Sullivan. I mean, Kevin's gotten your cousin Chuck Booth, gave him a write-up in CBS Sportsline. He's getting written
We
up
are
by John
not
Fontana.
related. We
Don't
are not
say that.
related.
Come on, there's the family resemblance. There's the last name.
This is Buster Bunny and Babs Bunny all over again. You're not related.
I don't know. Next, he'll have a mural up in the in Subaru Park soon. But anyhow, I mean, Kevin's getting.
I hope so. He deserves it.
Kevin's getting the press. So, I mean,
he deserves it, honestly, man. The kid's been around for a decade plus.
Shout out to Chuck Booth. But anyhow, I think Kevin and Ryan Richter have made the most of this tournament. Ryan Richter has really put his stamp on this team, and it looks like, maybe he's pulling a Jim Curtin, and being a homegrown coach. Who knows? We'll see. But, the question I have for Adam and for Seba before we wrap up the Leagues Cup for us, because we will be out of it after Thursday, is MLS now equal or greater than Liga MX? I'll let either of you take that one.
I can start with that one, because I have a bunch of thoughts about this. No. And here's the thing, though. I think it's like anything. I always had this discussion with my friends. The dumbest person the smartest person at Temple University and the smartest person at University of Pennsylvania are the same person. Okay? Like they are the same amount of intelligence. The difference is the dumbest person at Penn is not the dumbest person at Temple. And the reason why I say this is there is at the top, Club America, Cruz Azul, all these guys, they are still this much above what we have in MLS. But the middle is pretty even now. I think at this point, the middle is a lot of the like through like 4 through 10 in both leagues. I think they're about even. But the top is still a gap. And I think that's the biggest issue here. And in terms of support, MLS is getting ran out of their own stadiums again. For the every single time this tournament happens, MLS cannot get their fans to defend their homeland. It's like the Sixers against the Knicks in the playoffs out there. I watched a Club America fan wave the eagle in front of the Timbers Army. And I am not saying that America has anything that resembles a rowdy soccer culture, but that would be one of the few fan bases I would assume that would actually do something about being disrespected. And they did nothing. And it was pointed out how they did nothing about that disrespect. And at this point, I think culturally, we're still miles away. It's not even like the Mexican culture of soccer and Liga MX is still running circles around MLS, and it's not even close. The teams are getting more even, but as a tournament as a whole, MLS is still looking up to Liga MX. They are that on a continental level, they're still looking up, and then it's going to be a while, I feel.
Well, we're going to give it to our expert now, Seba. MLS, Liga MX, are they even? Is MLS? I mean, I know MLS is gaining ground, but what do you think about the two leagues?
I mean, I really agree about what Adam just said. In a culture with a fan, it's night and day. Like you said, you get kicked out of your own stadium, so it's a bit hard to swallow for the pride, especially of the player. So imagine you play at home and you have more fans of the other team. I think if you do this competition and let's say we play all the game in Mexican stadium, not sure if there's as many win of MLS than there is now. So again, it's a different league, different country. Like it's hard to compare, like the way, like the mentality of like going to game, and like Adam said, like the Mexican teams, there's the big cylinder, guys, the Cruz Azul, the Club America, the one who spend a lot of money, and they are here to win and get into the Champions League and everything. And in MLS, still, with the fact that we have a budget for each team, and there is maybe some team who spend more with the GAM or whatever, but yeah, we are not here yet. I think the level, yes, like Adam said, we are very, very close, or even sometimes better than Necaxa. I think the Union could be better than them, and in a full regular season, we can maybe be in front of them. But again, it's so different to play in like an atmosphere that you are in a away fan, and when you are there, you are scared, or you feel like, oh my god, like they are all against us. It's very different to compare. So level wise, definitely get closer. So everything Adam say, I agree. But then culture wise, yeah, it's still a big gap between the two.
All right. Well, we as fans, according to Adam, have some work to do. And we're just brutal on the fans for this episode, Adam. I tell you what, that's okay. Um, Speaking of upcoming, we go into Yankee Stadium. We're going to the ballpark. We're going on a Sunday night ballpark run. We do have a game on Thursday, but like I said, we're past League's Cup just because we're out of it. But we've got New York City, and then Mr. Messi may or may not be in town. We're gonna see how that goes because, as everybody knows, his father passed away, so he is in Argentina. So we don't know if Messi's gonna come. Maybe that's a break the Union need, but we've got some tough matches coming up. We've got, like Seba said, we got New York City. We're home against Miami, and then I believe we travel to future Jim Curtin's country, Austin. So it's a tough stretch run. Just Adam, give me your thoughts real quick on the next 3 games. What we got to do. 9 points would be great, but 7 would be acceptable. Your thoughts? No?
I mean, look, you're looking at you're looking at a situation where if you can get 9 points out of this situation, the Union are back. Like that, like you could authentically say that this is probably one of the better mid-season turnarounds in league history, and the World Cup was the greatest thing that ever happened to this franchise. That's if you get 9 points. Even if you get 7 points out of this, I can see 3, I can see 4, maybe even 5. But it's like one of these situations where, this is going to be your litmus test, right? I think the first couple of games back, especially all of them being home one after another, it definitely helped you to establish a mojo. The new coach smell kind of came in. You got Kai back, which I can't even imagine the vibes on the practice field the moment 27 stepped back onto that field. So all that to be said, Quinn Sullivan coming back. Kevin Sullivan now taking that leap forward. I think we can all say, even in the last couple of months, Kevin has become a better on-field footballer at this level. I think he was already tearing it up for you too, but now I think he is coming to his own as a professional adult footballer. Across the board, this is an opportunity for you to really judge what the capabilities of this team are. Because New York is an interesting moment right now. They're not elite. They're good. They're above us. They've had some quality wins, but I don't look at that as a team that's unbeatable, even in New York City. Good old friend Matt Freeze, love him to death, but that's a game that you have an opportunity to get at least a result from.
Where's Matt Freeze from?
Wayne, Pennsylvania. One of the things, though, about this Miami game that I find very interesting is, other than the fact that Miami's under investigation again for another transfer money debacle, because here's the thing I want from the new commissioner, who I believe is from Cherry Hill. is coming into the league, the LAFC part owner.
He was the smartest person at University of Pennsylvania.
Obliterate this salary cap for the love of God. Can we just take the brakes off? Because Miami's going to keep doing this. We're just going to all have to pretend that this is okay. Because the rest of us are like, every fan of MLS who's been operating for decades, and I'm sure Seba as a participator in MLS has been like, there has been an obvious system in place on how money is given, on how players are acquired, on how players are even discovered in the first place. There's lists, there's pecking orders, there's specific pockets of money given to these things. And Miami said, screw all of that. It doesn't matter what a DP is. It doesn't matter what a homegrown is. We're going to sign half of Argentina's national team and 5 former members of Manchester United, and you can't do anything about it. And even if you investigate us, what you're going to do? You're going to penalize Beckham? You're going to penalize the man who saved the league? Like, it's just get it. Just do away with it. Just get the rails off. Let's just stop pretending. It's like college sports. It's like the NCAA with the NIL. Let's just Alabama was playing their players. Alabama was giving money to their football players to play football in Alabama.
Let me get you back. Let's get this back on the rails here. Let's get back to.
All I'm saying is this Miami thing bothers me because Messi not being on the team might not matter because they have 5 people who will be in the quote Hall of Fame of soccer still on their roster regardless. So I really hope we win. I think we can, even though Miami has a weird flawed system defensively, we have an opportunity to possibly get them, especially at home. But I don't know. Miami pisses me off. I don't like them.
Miami's all gas, no break. We can get goals hopefully. Seba, your thoughts? We got New York City and Miami. What do you think?
I'm not going to be that deep of comment of Adam. He went very far, but no, I mean, it's 2 good team. New York City FC, I think, over there is going to be one of the toughest games, especially on a small field and everything. And it's a team with, confidence. If my information are right, I think Fernandez Macau might not play, which could be a good thing for the union, I think, due for suspension. And so I think, we could get a result there. I think we just need to be really concentrated defensively, making sure, we don't give up a goal like we have been doing in the past couple of games and with silly mistakes and kind of defending well. And I think it'll be some room for some counter-attack, especially on the small field. I think with the left foot of Kai Wagner, the delivery, we can get some, good looks. Can we pull, a professional win over there? I think so. And then Miami, if we come back to the game we just played against them right before the World Cup started, it was 6-4. We scored 4 on them. So we know we can score, but we give up too many chances as well. So can we, again, be a little bit better defensively, making sure that, we mark the number 10 if he's playing, or even the other guys who are involved in the attack, and don't give up kind of 2 easy goals. And when we are leading, let's be serious defensively and, shut it down and not having them coming back. So it's 2 big games. And I think from, let's say, those 2 games, we'll see then how we attack the game in Austin, because we need to kind of go through first New York, then Miami, and see, how the team feel. Maybe it's going to be some change, in the lineup, depending on how people give so much, energy in those 2 games, and see. But I feel we could keep, surfing on a good wave of getting more wins in those 2 games.
I hope so. I will be at both games. I'm going to make the trek to New York City and be in Chester for Miami. So looking forward to it. I got 3 or 4 things while we wrap it up. One, shocker, Gianni Infantino's in trouble, Adam. It's unbelievable. He's in hot water. Can't believe it. Don't even need to mention it. Gianni. Now, I do have to say, Adam, this is not good for us, but Mr. Latou's Arsenal made a nice signing. Did you see this at all?
I did not. Who they get?
Former Newcastle midfielder, and now the name is escaping me, but they spent $101 million. So, Seba, congratulations on your new midfielder. I think you're going to feel good about Arsenal this year, aren't you?
Nah, it's okay. We already won last year. We good. We can give it to anybody this year.
Look at him coasting along. And now the tragedy. Sebastian Letou broke the news earlier. If you look at behind Sebastian Letou, you will see a mural of one Adam Booth. It's gone. They replaced it. Adam, they canceled you. I have one suggestion for all our listeners, and this is what we need to do. It's a movement. You need to get a picture of that, print it, put it on a popsicle stick, and you flat Stanley the sucker. You bring Adam Booth to every soccer event you can and take a picture of flat Adam Booth with you. Bring Adam back to the Subaru. That's what I think we should do. Adam, your thoughts? I think Seb is doing it right now. He's printing it out, putting it on a popsicle stick, and it's going to be part of the radio broadcast.
Let me tell you something. This is Wharf Union. You know, we were cool. But you have a player, you have a jersey event, and you know I'm the jersey man. I'm Jersey Adam. And you don't even invite me to the jersey drop. You got Freeway out here, but you don't got your boy Adam Booth. You know, like I didn't do multiple commercials with you already. You know, don't you remember EMLS? Like, weren't we buddies? Man, like I have my, you know, and here's in all seriousness, I haven't been doing enough there to maintain that mural in the last 2.5 years, so I get that. But I did have my entire wife's family coming from Palermo to go to the match on Thursday, and I was actually very excited to show them that mural. And the fact that it is gone has kind of made me a little sad. You know, we joke a lot, and I am. It's fine. It's fine. I'll be all right.
He
I'll be all
likes
right.
teddy bears, flowers. We'll put it by that wall.
I mean, I'm just saying, R.I.P. to the GOAT. You know, that was look, that's a great, and Seba show you, it was a great mural. It was so good that, like, I don't know what you can even replace it with. Like, what would you gonna do? Make it an advertisement? It's like for Amoroso rolls or something.
No, they're gonna put Freeways. Freeway's gonna be on there now with the New Jersey.
Honestly, if I get replaced by Freeway, I'll accept that. That is a dethroning that I can handle.
And here's the thing: I liked it. I didn't like the new kit, and I don't want to go too deep in this because we do have to wrap it up. But couldn't they get Juicy Couture to be on the butt sponsor? Like, what was up with that? Like, I'm putting Bimbo on my butt.
What? I think it's a perfect place for it.
And what are those dudes that tuck their jerseys in going to do?
Ray Gaddis is going to have a problem.
Yeah. Seba, what did you think of the new kit? Have you seen it? They could have gotten dude wipes on the back of there for more money.
I saw a little bit of it, but not the full thing. So I think it looks cool, but yeah. We'll see when they wear it during the game, and then we can comment about it.
Yeah,
I think overall, I think it is a good-looking kit. I love the additions of all the other Philadelphia sports teams on the color scheme on the collar and the arm cuffs. I think that's a really nice touch to it. I don't like faux throwbacks for teams that don't have throwback level histories. And like 15 years is not enough to have a throwback. I'm sorry, you don't. And if you're going to do it, just bring out the original center stripe kit without the Bimbo on it, or put the Bimbo on the back. That's a faux throwback. Like with the Whitecaps, with Seattle, with those kind of clubs, I'm down with that. They've been around since the 70s and all that, you know. But for like LAFC and Inter Miami and all that, no, you shouldn't have faux throwbacks. It's like when the Tampa Bay Rays did that in baseball, and I'm like, no, you don't have enough of a history. By the way,
your youngest player is older than you. Oh, there you go.
This is the new Sicily Palermo second kit, which is an homage to the oranges and lemon production of the city. And let me tell you, this thing is crispy. I'm not the biggest Puma kit guy because I think they're a little bit too big on me, but this is a crispy little kit right here. I'm a big fan of this one.
Very, very nice. All right, we got to wrap this up. But Adam, do you want to give a quick thought on the passing of a cohort?
So over last week, one of my better friends in the Sons of Ben and this whole kind of soccer sport universe over the years, like I like to say that the Sons of Ben has just exposed me to so many great people, and like Seba, like yourself, and to be able to share culture and to talk to people about the love of the game, love of other sports, love of Philadelphia, and all parts in between. It was really one of the things that is made being a Sons of Ben member, doing all this, having this podcast really great. And one of the people who used to listen to this podcast, and a great friend of mine, Dana Terracino, passed away last week. It was very sudden. I had seen her at the Red Bull match just last week, and we were talking about the upcoming WNBA team being brought to Philadelphia. Sneakers we were wearing, because she was always wearing the best sneakers around. I have over 100 pairs of sneakers in my life, and I always thought of myself to be a bit of an aficionado, but she always had me beat. Every time I saw her, she always had the best kicks on. She would tell you like it is. I think in this world now, everyone's so concerned about everyone else's feelings that we don't sometimes say what actually needs to be said. And she was never that person. She would tell you exactly what needs to be said. She would tell you exactly how a person should be treated. And it was always justified, and it was always with the right intentions. So I don't want to belabor this. I'm going to get emotional myself, but when you meet good people in this world, and you meet people who impact you like that, let them know. Let them know what they mean to you, because it's this thing is so fragile that we're all doing right now, that we should all just be a little bit kinder, a little bit nicer, and always let the people we love know that we love them.
Well said, Adam. Just condolences, thoughts, and prayers to her friends and family, everybody in the Sons of Ben community. I mean, listen, it's almost 9 years to the day where we lost Kenny. So I think it's something that we need to remember as the Union family is, let's stop being mean to each other online and be a little nicer to each other online and in person, and just enjoy the ride, because it's the only one we got. So, yeah, Adam, Seba, we're going to wrap this up. We got anything to say, plug, or are we just ready to move on from Leagues Cup and get ready to make the MLS playoffs?
Playoffs.
All right. Everybody,
playoffs.
Thank you for listening. This is episode number 65 of the X's and the U. Adam, Seba, thanks again for joining us. And Seba, maybe I'll see you in New York City. You doing the radio?
Yep, I'll be there.
All right, I'll see you up in Yankee. We'll get some Cracker Jacks and enjoy the baseball game. Thanks, everyone. Have a good one.